Absolutely. The gap really is about not about stats, not about overall season, because he's absolutely right. Burrow, Allen, Jackson, you can talk about what they do in the regular season, how it's better than Mahomes. The fact is the gap here lies in what happens in the last 2 minutes of the game, and that creates a psychological effect which makes these other quarterbacks feel that once you step on the field and Mahomes is on the other side, you have to play a perfect game of football to beat this dude in the playoffs. You go back to last season when Josh Allen was lined up against that Chiefs defense. He threw two of the worst passes I've seen out the gate in that game. It seemed like the guy was trying to, was a little shaken by the fact that he was going against Mahomes. And Mahomes, by what he's done, what his track record is, come playoff time, come the fact that he is going to find a way. If you have 13 seconds left in that game, he is going to win that game. That is the difference here. It's not this gap we're talking about Jordan and the rest of the NBA back in the 90s, but you know that you have to be perfect and you have to snuff this dude out like the Eagles did in the Super Bowl to feel like you can beat him. I don't know about you guys, but when at that point in that Super Bowl, do you feel like this game was actually over? It felt like Mahomes could come back at any moment because that's just what he does. And I feel like that is the advantage he has over these quarterbacks. It's not the X's and O's, not regular season and the 4,000, 5,000 yard regular season. It's one game, last 2 minutes, you feel like Mahomes is always going to pull it out.
See, I disagree. I think 15 minutes into that Super Bowl, it was over. And I was there on the field working for Fox, and I was like, this is a shell of what this Chiefs team is, which is why I think Kansas City reloaded. And I'm fine with him being number one this year because I think they got better this offseason. But that version that we saw of Mahomes in the Super Bowl, he wasn't better than Lamar Jackson on his best day or Josh Allen on his best day or Joe Burrow on his best day. So if we had woken up yesterday and we're starting July 14th, the NFL season's here, and we said Lamar Jackson's the number one quarterback in the league, I wouldn't have been outraged. I would have said you can make the argument for Lamar Jackson. The same could be said for Josh Allen, who the voters of the MVP all selected after the regular season. And then Burrow, you can make the argument that he too is the most pure quarterback in the league. So I agree that the window is small here. There's not that great a margin or gap between them, but I also could have been fine with those guys being voted number one too. It's a question of fantasy stats and individual accomplishments or team accomplishments. In this case, no one's questioning Mahomes. But yeah, you could say Lamar played a better version of the quarterback position last year.
Yeah, I think there's a big gap here, guys, for a number of reasons. We're talking about someone that's been to 7 AFC championship games, been to the Super Bowl 5 of the last 6 years. They won 15 games a year ago. I was at the Super Bowl working for ESPN International just to get my Super Bowl credentials as well.
Let's go.
And watching that game, you could just feel the defensive line of the Eagles controlling it from snap one. Literally, that game, Superman could have played for Kansas City, they would have lost. To Kansas City's credit, they went out and got, in my opinion, the best tackle in the draft in Josh Simmons. If he was healthy, he's a top 10 pick. So you move on from Kingsley Suamatea, Joe Thuney, turn a weakness into a strength. So here's a team that's won 15 games, got to the Super Bowl, guys, and they're better. They are better this year, taking nothing away from Josh Allen, Lamar Jackson, Joe Burrow. All good quarterbacks, all better than good. They're very good quarterbacks. But to me, what we're talking about, what Patrick Mahomes is doing, is historically good. They won 15 games in an off year. Mm-hmm, yeah. They were 30th in air yards per attempt. They were checking the ball down with a bad offensive line and still made it to the Super Bowl.
And he won some huge games on a terrible ankle.
Yeah,
it's a real injury that a lot of people would have missed games for and said, I'm playing. So I give Mahomes all the credit in the world. That said, Josh Allen was the MVP, and there were no one, arguing for Mahomes last year during the regular season.
No, that's fair. But when we're talking about greatness and we're talking about elite here and tiebreakers, that to me is where, Patrick Mahomes deserves so much credit. He's out there with a left guard playing against a great defensive line. What do we expect to happen? And give the Chiefs credit. They went out and aggressively fixed it.
It's an interesting angle because in many ways, if we didn't have the track record of the Chiefs, that was actually a good year for them. Because
that's right.
They should not have made the Super Bowl ankle, poor play, offensive line, etc. But they did. So they beat everybody in the AFC. So this year, who has the best chance in the AFC, Lamar, Allen, or Burrow, to beat Mahomes?
Josh Allen. And Coach Belichick, if he was sitting here with us guys, he would talk about oftentimes teams lose games before you ever have to win it. The way Sean McDermott had Josh Allen playing last year were very few turnovers, very few sacks. This is a high-floor team. And if they get increased production from some young skill players like Dalton Kincaid, Keon Coleman, Khalil Shakir is a little bit of an underrated player. This is a team that has the ability not only to not beat itself, but let number 17 here be Superman 2 or 3 times a game.
David?
I'm going Lamar Jackson. I'm going the Ravens. I just think from top to bottom, from a team standpoint, the amount of talent they have, the amount of depth, I think they're probably going to be the best team in the league. I think they're going to be the #1 seed. And I think that Lamar Jackson, this is, again, we're going to say it again, the year that I think he gets over that hump and he puts it all together come playoff time. What I saw from a guy who had one bad half against Buffalo and then one perfect half against Buffalo is a guy who was one drop away from going against Mahomes again and having a real shot at getting to that Super Bowl. I think that he gets over that hump because he's going to be even a better version of himself. I think even last year, one of the great quarterback seasons we've ever seen, I think he's a better version of that coming this year.
Lamar had his worst half of the season in the first half of that game against the Buffalo Bills, and that game actually happened to be played in Western New York. I love Lamar and I love Josh, and I think both of them are going to have a shot to usurp Patrick Mahomes. I'm looking at it really, really granularly, though, and I look at the two divisions. I think the Bills, once again, are going to walk through the AFC East. I don't think the Dolphins, the Patriots, or the Jets are going to contend. Mike will get to that if you really have a dark horse team, but I think it's fair to say the Bills have a big lead. And I think the AFC North is an absolute gauntlet when you're talking about a revamped Pittsburgh team and a Bengals team that's going to come back stronger, and then a Browns team that's going to be significantly better this year. So I don't see the Ravens as the 1 seed in the AFC, but I do see the Bills. And if you put that game at home, give them 10 games, I think the Bills can beat the Chiefs in 6 out of those 10 games. Maybe it's 5-5. I don't see the Ravens hosting the playoff game this year like they did 2 years ago.
Okay. Yeah, I'm really confused here.
Who do you got in the AFC East that's going to challenge Buffalo?
Evan and David, I was just watching Get Up. I saw this Football Genius have this top 5 list of massively improved players, and this person named Peter Schrader's guy, Drake May, is number 1.
Do you think the Patriots are challenging the Bills? No, I think he's going to be greatly improved.
Those are 2 different things, to be fair. I love Drake May. I'm a Pats fan. That doesn't mean they're going to win the division because he's improved.
I'm just saying, based on you had me at hello.
I think he's going to be the most improved player in the NFL because of coaching and because of supporting cast.
Right.
I still think the gap is a canyon between them and the Buffalo Bills. Lamar, I can't tell you with great confidence that they're definitely winning the AFC North right now.
No, that's totally fair. I guess my point more fundamentally is I do think the Bills on any given Sunday could beat Kansas City because of the way they're playing now. It's almost a little bit of a version of keep away, ball control, and it's a little bit of a different Bills team than it's been in the past.
David?
I mean, the difference in the divisions has always been there, right? The Bills were way better last year, and the AFC North was a gauntlet last year as well. And the Ravens were still one drop pass away from being there and overcoming, which I agree, Pete, was one of the worst halves that Lamar Jackson has had. But they were still right there, given the divisions. I think we could be in a similar situation where they're in Buffalo, because Buffalo may be that one seed, as you mentioned, due to the records. But I still think the Ravens are going to be the better team. And when that happens, we're looking at Allen and Jackson again come playoff time. Who's going to be better? And I think that it's Lamar Jackson's time.
All right, Mahomes and the Chiefs did struggle.
Hello, chào mừng các bạn quay trở lại với kênh của mình. Để bắt đầu vào làm thì các bạn sẽ chuẩn bị cho mình những dụng cụ như sau nha.